Hi, and welcome to Country Music Social Media Sessions. I'm delighted to finally have Dan Thomas with me. How are you, Dan?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, yeah, all good. It's nice to actually finally, well, virtually meet you anyway, I should say.
Yeah, we've had a few problems trying to get this together, but glad we finally managed to do it.
Oh, it's all right. It's worth waiting for, I'm sure. No, it's lovely to meet you, and you're quite new. You're quite new to us, aren't you, on the Country Music Social
Yeah,
Media?
yeah. Only a couple of weeks now, but yeah, the results are speaking for themselves.
Good. I will continue to do so, and I must congratulate you on your new single. By the way, I've been playing it on my show, and you charted as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah, number 35 on the iTunes chart and the iTunes country charts, which yeah, as a first for me. I'm happy with that.
Absolutely, and it also gets your name out there as well, doesn't it? When someone sees it in the chart, it's nice to and well done because it's a fantastic record. And I've been playing it every week for the last 2 weeks, I think. So this has been yeah, it gets played on Radio Downtown, which is it's broadcast from Canada, but it's got quite a wide audience. And my show goes out in UK, US, Canada, and all around. So, but well done. So, how did this come around then? So, obviously, we've been in lockdown, like God knows how many times. So, how did you get in the studio? How did you work with the song? And how did you find the recording process?
Well, this one, do you know, we actually started recording this one, my producer and I. We started just before the first lockdown because it was a song I wrote in like the January of that year. And I went to my producer and said, "Oh, I've got this really great new song." Because we had a bunch of songs we wanted to record. And I was like, "Oh, I've got this one. I think this one's going to be really good." And we laid down like the guitars for it, and then everything shut down. The whole completely shut down. And we couldn't do anything we couldn't properly record anything for months, but we were still sending like demos back and forth to each other. I was sending him like the raw stuff. He was sending me back bits in terms of the arrangement. So we were able to do a bit of work during lockdown. And then in the July, as soon as we were allowed to maybe do something, I was like, "Martin, please can I come back to the studio?" He goes, "Yeah, cool, it's just you, it's fine. We've got loads of space. We can do this COVID safe." So yeah, it's actually been quite an easy process to get that one done.
That's good, yeah, because it was a bit difficult, wasn't it? How did you find lockdown? How did you occupy yourself? Were you working through it? Because I know some people were essential workers. Were you trying to still write? Obviously, we couldn't gig, could we?
You know what? I'm fortunate in a way. You know what? I'm not even going to try and qualify it. I am very fortunate in the sense that I have a day job that allowed me to continue working throughout the pandemic. I could work from home really easily. They set us up quite quickly when they knew it was going that way. I've not lost a single day of working due to the pandemic. But I also had an 18-month-old daughter at home.
Oh, wow.
So we suddenly had no nursery and no grandparents to help with the childcare. And both my wife and I were continuing to work full-time from home. So we were trying to do that alongside raising a toddler. But do you know what? As challenging as it was, I'm really grateful for it because I really got to bond with her in a way that I don't think I would have otherwise. So
I think you've got to see that, haven't you? You've got to see the blessings that come out of it because it goes so fast. They grow up. I've got a miserable teenager.
Well, I've got a 3-year-old now, so she's already sort of like in the practice stage of being a miserable teenager.
Yeah, yes, girls are worse, I think, in that respect. But that's why I like doing these Zoom sessions because everyone has a different story to tell over the pandemic. Everybody was affected in different ways, but everyone I've spoken to has also come out with something really positive from the pandemic, which I think is amazing.
Well, I think it's great if you're out there and you have got something positive to come out of it. I dare say it's not the case for everybody, but yeah, I'm glad for the people who did.
Yes, I mean it was very, very hard for a lot of people, but everyone had a different story, and it's one of those times in our life we'll probably look back on it in about 10 years' time and think, did that actually really happen? It's so bizarre, isn't it? The whole thing was just weird.
So bizarre.
so weird. But I'm really looking forward to hearing you play today. So what are you going to do for us for your first song?
I guess I'll start with the new single.
Yes,
one we've already alluded to. This is a song called "Holding On to You." I'm gonna make sure I turn the guitar channel on.
Good idea.
And to the frets. You should be getting me on with tons of reverb now.
Yeah, I can hear you really well. Do you want to just do a quick strum on your guitar just to make sure the sound comes through, right?
Sure.
Right.
Up?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, that's okay. Cool. Okay, let's take this away. I've had a bit of a cold, so do bear with me on this one.
I'll make you nice and husky. It'll be fine.
Yeah, give me the sexy country voice.
There you go.
Okay. This one's called Holding On To You. Okay. If we could have our time again, would you still take my hand? If I could bear myself again, would anybody understand? I know that you feel it too, the feeling that it's all on you. A mask that slips, a broken mind, a heart so often left behind. And I'm holding on to you. If it's the last thing I ever do, I know that we'll see this through. I'm holding on to you. If you could have seen just where it ends, would you have turned away? Is your heart something that I can mend? Or is there nothing left to say? I know that you feel it too, the feeling that there's something true, very deep, but surely there. Could you say you do not care? And I'm holding on to you. If it's the last thing I ever do, I know that we'll see this through. I'm holding on. I know I'm down, but I'm not out. My love, I never had it down. I'm holding on with all I've got, with a strength that long forgot. So to you I ask you now, could you still hold on somehow? If I could just turn back time, would you say you'll still be mine? Ooh, oh, oh, and I'm holding on to you. If it's the last thing I ever do, I know that we'll see this through. I'm holding on to you. Holding on to you.
Wow, great vocals and such a good song. That was a really good performance. Bear in mind you've had a cold. That's amazing.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
You even brought my cat into the room. Let's see. She
I saw your cat turn up. Hello.
She obviously likes your voice. She's come to sit. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That was beautiful. It's just a great song anyway. I like the lyrics are just fantastic. It's very well structured as well. I like it, and also it really gets in your head, which is what you want. It's got that hook.
I do as a songwriter. I feel like different songwriters have got different strengths and different things that that they bring to the table as a songwriter, and like different things that are really important to them. Like I've met some people where the lyric is like the main thing. For me, it's all about whether there's a hook there or not. Whenever I've been writing, my process is I start with I just noodle around with some chords and think, okay, here's a nice chord progression. That one is obviously it's just a 4-chord song, but hey, 3 or 4 chords in the truth.
Yeah, the truth. That's all you need in this day and age. Yeah, that's all you never needed. But,
then I'll like hum around and see if I can find a vocal melody that I like. And when I found that the chorus, I was like, okay, yeah, there's a song. There's something there. I don't know what it is yet, but that's a thing.
Well, the thing is with this song as well, I find with your song is that the lyrics are just as good as the hook. You've got both. You've managed to get both of it down there. You've got great lyrics and a really good hook, because it is very catchy and it'll be in my head all day now. So thanks for that.
Well, I'm glad I can do something. Right? Thank you.
No, you're most welcome. No, it's really, really good. So what's next on the agenda for you? You're going to put out an EP or an album? Have you got a new single coming? Or what have you got planned next?
I have a new single that's going to be out in November.
Wow, okay.
Probably like the last week of November. I tend to drop things like on the last week of the month.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I've just chosen that as the way to do it. I'm at the moment I'm trying to drop one every 2 months. This is the 3rd of this year, and then I've got 3 more in the pipeline that are ready to go. And then they'll all kind of be released collectively as an EP, so I can finally start selling them on CDs.
Yes.
To people. Because I do have an EP that's available on CD, but it's an older one where I still love the songs on it, but it's like I've moved on as a songwriter since then. Yeah, but I'm really excited about these songs. I want you to hear these now.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've been doing this for a long time as well, and I'm currently on my 5th album, and it's just constant progression. And I mean, I only learned to play guitar a few years ago. I'm not particularly brilliant at it, but it's enough for me to be able to write songs, and that's all I wanted to do. And I find that you mature, your songwriting matures as well, doesn't it? And you think you get the more you do it, the better you get, I think, in a lot of time. And it's nice I love my old stuff. You know, I've got a soft spot for it because it's what started me off. But you get really excited about, I've got a new single out, and I've got one out today. It's like, oh, it's really exciting, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I'm in a similar boat in that I've been singing since I was 14. I'm 35 for context, for those of you that don't know. But yeah, I've been singing in bands since I was 14. Started out in like a really screaming heavy metal bands.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I've only been playing guitar since like I picked it up for the first time properly in like 2014, and started writing my own solo stuff in like 2016, I think.
Oh, okay, wow.
But yeah, it was for ages. I was convinced I had a musical brain, but not musical hands. Like I couldn't work a guitar out. And then I started playing in an acoustic duo, like doing covers in pubs and things, and where it was me and one other guy, and he was very strictly the guitar, I was very strictly the voice. And then as time went on, he persuaded me, he was like, well, if I can do a lead here and you can get like a very sort of basic rhythm down, then that will really flesh out the song. And likewise, I dragged him kicking and screaming to a mic. It's like, dude, you've actually got a really nice voice. Can you sing? He's like, no. Like, yes, you can. Come on. But yeah, that's through a hop, skip, and a jump. That's where I am now. I've ended up. I can actually play guitar now to a modest standard. I wouldn't call myself a guitarist. I'm a songwriter.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. I'm a singer because I do that for a living. I'm a job as a vocalist. That's what I do. But as a guitarist, I play guitar. That's all I say. Yeah, I wouldn't even class myself as really, a proper musician. I just picked it up, and I've learned quite a lot along the way, and I've written a lot of songs with it. So it's nice. I think you're never too old anyway, are you? I think you just do it when you feel like doing it.
No, do you know what? Especially that's one thing I found, especially about country music, is more on the fact that I'm a country artist in a minute. But I feel like country is one of the very few genres out there that are welcoming of older artists.
Absolutely.
And even in like not even in a like the legacy artists, but like you can begin a career in country in like, I don't know, your 50s or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
And people in the scene are equally as welcoming of you at that age as they would be if you were 17.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love how welcoming it is, because so many other genres, particularly where I started out in like rock music, still got such a big place for it in my heart. But it's seen very much as a young man's game.
I get it. And I think with country music, because it's such a storytelling songwriting, isn't it? It really tells a story. And the older you are, the more stories you've got, right?
Do you know what I was going to say? That it's like, yeah, it's almost built for older people. Because the older you are, you've got more stories to tell. Just like
so we can only get better, right?
Yeah. I hope I have more stories to tell.
Well, yeah, we hope so. Yeah.
That's the thing. Whenever I write an EP, I finish it and I'm like, I go through this phase of going, oh no, I haven't got any more songs in me. I'm going to be terrible at this now. I'm a fraud. But then eventually I do something. Like, I've not written a full, complete song since June of last year. And yeah, I'm starting to get to that stage where I'm panicking. But I'm sure I'll hit a phase of like writing like 2 or 3 in a couple of months. But
I find that you get a bit blocked for a while, but the best thing is to not force it. It just comes when it's felt. I find just tinkering around with the guitar sometimes and something will come into my head. I feel could work with that. And then it develops quite quickly from there. But it is hard and you can't force it.
No, the worst one I ever had was, I tell this story quite a lot, but one day, a couple of years ago, I was noodling around with some different bits, trying to write something, and I was coming up with nothing. Absolutely nothing for hours. And then I found this one chord progression. In fact, you know what? I'll do it whilst I'm here. And I went to there, and I thought, okay, that's quite a nice change. And I thought, okay, well, where'd you go from there? And then I went to, I thought, okay, so to resolve it, you need to go to the D. I thought, okay, well, I don't know if you can even really hear that because I realised I've muted my guitar mic.
I can hear you.
But and then I played around with it for a while. Let me turn it back on so you can get it properly. So I played around with like going, thinking, yeah, this is really cool. I like this. And then I started thinking, hang on, I'm sure I know this. And then I suddenly went, on a dark desert highway. I was like, oh man, I've just been freaking.
Oh no! Yeah, that's right. What song?
That was hours of songwriting.
Oh well, no, that's the thing, isn't it? I've been learning that one actually on the guitar. It's a great song. Well, I love the Eagles anyway. So you're influenced very much by rock then, as a younger man.
Yeah, my favourite band still is the Foo Fighters.
Oh, I love them.
I mean, it's not like they're a niche band, but they're so, they can, whilst being like having a real punk rock ethos to them, they've still got such a broad appeal.
Yes.
And yeah, and then whenever you see Dave Grohl talk, you think, oh man, you're the nicest guy in the
He's
world.
so lovely. He was on Graham Norton the other night, actually, the Graham Norton show. He's on there. He's brilliant. He's a legend, isn't he? The guy's just a legend.
Was that the one? Was he talking about his daughter being taught piano by Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney, that's right. Yeah, I think he's got a book out or something as well. But yeah, he's got. I mean, his book's got to be a great read. I think I might have to get it because he must have so many stories to tell.
I found out that he's going to be. I found it today actually. He's going to be on CBeebies Bedtime Stories this week. That must be to do with him promoting his book. But I thought, I don't care if I'm 35. I'm tuning in for that.
Yeah, don't worry about the kids. Don't worry about them. I might watch it.
In bed by then. I'm like, screw you. I'm going to watch Dave Grohl.
I'm going to watch Dave Grohl. He might give me some good dreams. You never know. But he is fantastic. And say rock music. I love rock music. I like the 80s stuff as well, like Def Leppard, that kind of thing. I always loved 80s classic rock and all that. But I do love country because it's so raw and honest. And it tells such a simple story. Sometimes it's very simple in a way that's beautiful. I think country, that it has that to it. So I mean, I like both, and sometimes you can combine the two, can't you?
Yeah, I used to. Do you know what? And this is probably a thing like on a country show, but up until a certain point in my life, and I think many people are guilty of this, I had opinions about country music.
Yeah,
like kind of snooty, sneery, turn my nose up sort of opinions. And my wife was very instrumental in getting me into country and sort of seeing that it's actually a lot broader than I ever suspected it would be. Yeah, I think particularly for me, it was when I had the real breakthrough moment. Was when I heard my wife had a CMA's CD, and one of the tracks on it was Chris Stapleton's cover of Tennessee Whiskey. And I was like, "Who is this? I like this. This is for me." And yeah, that was very much what got me into it, to the point where about a year or so later, one of my old friends from school, who we very much came up together listening to like really heavy metal music, and he said to me, "So what are you listening to these days?" And I said, "I'm listening to a lot of country music. The sadder, the better."
Yeah.
I'm kind of into a lot more of the kind of the melancholy side of country. Because then I end up playing all these like upbeat, holding on to you. But well, it's a strange thing. I never set out when I was starting my solo journey, as I refer to it. I never set out to be country. I just started getting told that that's what it was.
Yeah, and, people like to pigeonhole you anyway, I think, don't they, a lot of the time?
Yeah, the way when people, I don't know if you find this as an artist as well, but like, do you find it a really awkward conversation when you meet somebody and it comes up in conversation that you're a performer, and they say, "Oh, what sort of music do you play?"
Oh yes, yeah.
I feel like it's always like, well, it's sort of it's a little bit rock, a little bit folky, a little bit of country. If you were to draw like a Venn diagram, it'd be in the middle. Oh no, wait, where are you going? Come back! I swear I'll stop being boring.
Yeah, you can see. You always feel people going, "Oh."
Yeah, it always sounds like pretentious somehow when you're not able to just say country, rock.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, yeah, it's difficult to say precisely what I am. But yeah, it's even still today. I'm like, when I get played on country shows, and the country community has been such a welcoming place, yes, as opposed to so many other genres of music that I've been into over the years. But I still have this like what's the word I'm looking for? Like imposter syndrome, thinking like, one day someone's going to go, "That guy's not country, he's a fraud," and then everyone's going to know that I'm a fraud and kick me out, and then I'll be on my own.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I've done obviously mastered as a country artist, but my latest song is more of a classical ballad, which I put it in the singer-songwriter iTunes category this time rather than country. They haven't kicked me out yet, so I think, my next, I've got a Christmas song coming out later this year, and that won't be country. It's more folky, to be honest, but they're quite accepting, and then I've got a country album coming out next year, so I think that I've always been very honest about the kind of genre blend anyway. So, country, you've got country folk, you've got country rock, you've got country pop, you've got so many different types. Then you've got your pure country, you've got your blues. You've got so many. It just expands itself, doesn't it? So it's really hard to categorize and pigeonhole yourself, but other people will do that for you anyway.
Yeah, that's it. I try now to worry about it less and just go, well, play what you play, and then people will say what they say.
Yeah. I just hope people like it.
In a rhyme when that came out of my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And I just hope people like the songs that they do, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to do it because you love it. You've got to hope people that like it, and if it's a good song, they'll like it regardless of the genre. I think that's the way you've got to see it. Really.
It's Americana with like an old rock twist, or like alternative country-ish.
Yeah, you end up coming up with this whole big long sentence with lots of different words. You think, actually, yeah, just say it's country. It's easier because they're like folk, country, what? But it's just really nice to have you on board as well on country music social media. So get us any new singles. We're getting a lot of airplay for holding on to you at the moment anyway. So very nice to have you on board, and hopefully we can get you at our festival next year when we get the dates for that.
Oh yes, please. It's been so. You must have found that as well. It's been so difficult to be not gigging for most of the last 18 months. I mean, I've been lucky. There have been a couple of times over the period where I was able to get out, like when restrictions eased in the summer last year. I managed to get one around Christmas time last year, and then got a couple in as soon as we were allowed to, in like May-ish of this year. But I did a couple of the online, the streaming shows, which they were fun, but they are no substitute.
No, it's really hard.
The first gig I played back in May of this year, I loved it so much more than I thought I was going to. I thought, oh, this will be fun, and then getting out, and it was a lot of people who I hadn't seen for a while as well had come out, and there was just such a beautiful atmosphere in there. Like, yes, this is this is why I do this. This is amazing.
Yeah,
so
maybe it made us reset a little bit and actually appreciate what we do a bit more. So no, it's I'm very grateful. It was nice to have the time off in a way, because I gig for a living. I do multi-genre stuff, even with backing tracks and guitar and all sorts of stuff. That's been my job for 17 years. So not having it for 18 months was hard. But when I found that, it made me appreciate it a lot more, and I kind of reset myself a little bit. So it's been nice. But yes, we'd love to. We'll give you a warm welcome at the festival next year. So we'd love to have you on board, I'm sure. So we'll let people know the dates as soon as we know. At the moment, it's all waiting to see what happens, and obviously it looks like we're coming out of the pandemic, but you never know what's around the corner. So we're hoping to do a festival next year, and we'd love to have you on board. So yeah, so before we go, I'd love you to play out with a song. What are you going to do for us?
I thought I'd play, since you kind of set me up for it, I'll play the next song.
Oh, excellent.
This is a nicely this is unashamedly country. This one I wrote this on a plane last week, and channeling my inner Chris Stapleton. This one I'll try and keep the language clean to describe it. This is about a really terrible ex of mine.
Okay.
And I like to dedicate it to all of your terrible exes, and all of your listeners' terrible exes too. It's called Loving You Ain't Fun Anymore.
Thank you.
I'll make sure this is in tune, actually, because that was embarrassing. Hang on. Yeah, this is the bit I never like at gigs, because in my tuning never stays in one spot.
Mine doesn't. I find it really annoying, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite at the stage yet where I've got a roadie who can come and just swap guitars out for me.
Just give me another guitar. Yeah, it's so much easier.
I'm getting better at it, but trying to talk and tell stories and things whilst you're tuning is it's a real skill.
It is a real skill, and I'm deaf in one ear, so it's even worse.
Oh God, are you really?
Yeah.
Well, that must be a pain as a musician, man.
It's only been recent. I had a tumour in my brain, and I had radiotherapy last year. Luckily it wasn't cancerous, but they did radiotherapy on it, and they singed the whole of the hearing nerve in that way. So I've only got 25% hearing or something now. So tuning, talking, and being on stage at the same time, I have to really master that. But you just adapt. You adapt like anything.
We're getting in tune now.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Take it away, Dan Thomas.
When I first laid my eyes on you, it was love at first sight. You charmed your way into my heart in a way I couldn't fight. Oh, I remember when on your love I could depend. But loving you ain't fun anymore. I thought you were the one for me, and together we'd grow old. But you stripped me of my dignity like something to be sold. You took away my pride and slowly emptied me inside. Now loving you ain't fun anymore. I can't believe I was so blind. I let you poison my mind. My bags are packed and I am gone. I'm heading back where I belong. I've no more tears to cry, so it's time I said goodbye. Now loving you ain't fun anymore. My friends and family told me that you were no good for me, and I was headed for disaster, it was plain to see. I wish I'd heard back then, now my heart cannot pretend. Now loving you ain't fun anymore. I can't believe I was so blind. I let you poison my mind. My bags are packed and I am gone. I'm heading back where I belong. I've no more tears to cry, so it's time I say goodbye. Now loving you ain't fun anymore. Anymore. reflecting on all that remains of all my future plans. But I will survive. Now I'm free and free to thrive. Now loving you ain't fun anymore. I can't believe I was so blind. I let you poison my mind. My bags are packed and I am gone. I'm heading back where I belong. I've no more tears to cry, so it's time I said goodbye. Now loving you ain't fun anymore. Loving you ain't fun anymore.
Another catchy song. That's great. That's got to be your next single.
Thank you very much. No, that is absolutely, yeah, that's the next one. That will be
Brilliant.
November, like late November. I don't know the exact date, but keep an eye out.
Fantastic. We'll get it to us as soon as you can. I'll make sure we get some radio airplay. I did lose you for a second on that, but it was only your face, so we actually still had the sound coming through, so it won't affect anything, so don't worry.
That was my battery saying low battery on my phone. I did see that and I thought, right, when I get to the strummy bits, I'll tap that button.
No, you're fine, because the sound still came through perfectly clearly, so you're okay. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dan. Dan Thomas, everybody, please download his single and look at his new one coming soon, and we'll hopefully see you very, very soon. Take care of yourselves, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye now.